Alright, this is going to be a tier list for Rainbow Six Siege. The mid-season patch notes came out a week or so ago. It's a perfect time for a new tier list. I haven't been playing Siege too much this season. I've just been having fun. I've kind of done everything I need to do in the game, so this is coming from a less competitive standpoint, but still a, you know, champion, high-ranked level of play here. Not really pro play, not really casual either. This is for higher level ranked, I would say. And I'm going to be strict. I like to keep it like a bell curve if I can keep it. If you're familiar with that statistical diagram. So let's just jump right into it. Ace, I'm going to put into the top of A tier. Great gun, great gadget. All right, maybe Ace is S tier. All right, right off the bat, I'm already having problems here. Let's see. Ace, S or A? S or A? I'm going to put him in S still because he's such a great solo operator. You can kind of do everything with Ace. You can frag, you can breach, you can watch flank, you can soft breach. He's kind of got it all, so I'm going to leave him in S. Alibi I'm going to put in the bottom of A or the top of B. Could put Alibi in B. Ever since she lost her 1.5, she's never really been the same, unfortunately. But she's still a great fragger. Still got utility to use. Make the rotates. She's got good secondary gadgets. Great gun, of course. Recoil is not as bad as it once was. So she's definitely up there. Amaru I'm going to put in C tier. You can make Amaru work. It's not like she's the worst operator in the game or anything. You can definitely make her work. Great gun. She's great for playmaking. You can really get a team off guard if you use Amaru correctly. Going in with sound being masked when thermites are going off or when smokes are going off, gridlocks going off, yinging in combination to Amaruing stuff. So I like Amaru. I also really like Aruni. I'm going to put Aruni in A tier. I think Aruni's been sitting in A-ish tier for the entirety of her playthrough, or the entirety of her life in the game. She's still great, still can make the rotates. Roni is still good. Definitely put the extendo on that jump. Great, good secondary. Legion is a fine pistol. And everybody likes barbed wire. Her gadget, though, is really what you want. She has a mix of entry denial and gadget denial. And a lot of times in ranked, that's usually what you like to see. So I think she deserves to be an A. Ash, I'm going to put in. I don't know. I think Ash is kind of mid. I'm going to put her in B tier. I mean, she's good. I mean, she's not as bad as I used to think she was. Maybe I was overhating a little bit. I still like the R4C. I like still using 1x optics if it's appropriate. Not a 1.5 warrior like some ranked stars are. That's not me. I like her gadget is still fine. She can destroy shields and stuff, get stuff from below. But there's still better options. Zophia's still better. Sledge is usually better still. Grenades are usually still the best stuff that you want to be using to do all the things that you would use Ash for anyway. So I think Ash is usually pretty redundant on a team, but she's fast, she's got a good gun, and the G3 or the G36C is still a good weapon as well if you like the 1.5. Azami might be still the best operator in the game, so I'm going to put her in S tier. Her ability to renovate site is truly unparalleled. You got 2 impacts. You got her gadget using it to create new lines of sight, closing off doorways, entranceways, lines of sight for the attackers, and then creating ones for yourself is truly just game changing. There is truly no end to how good Azami can be on any site in the game. Bandit, I'm going to put in B, maybe C tier. Now I'm going to put him in B because, bandit tricking, even though it shouldn't exist, still exists somehow. People are still just terrible at the game at all levels. It's easier than I feel like it's almost as easy as it used to be before the Thatcher change when it comes to bandit tricking. People aren't using the secondary EMPs as much as they should. So for some reason, Bandit is working when I don't think he should. But if you can Bandit trick a wall, I think Bandit is still good. If you've banned Thatcher and you really feel like you're okay with Bandit tricking off of the EMP gadget, then that's fine. But his gadget is not as good as Cade or Mute. Though he does have a good gun and a C4, but so do those other two. So not a big Bandit fan. Blackbeard, worst operator in the game, even though technically on console he's the best attacker in the game somehow. I don't know how that is. It must be from people throwing rounds. Blitz I'm going to put in D tier, and the only reason Blitz isn't in F is because sometimes, for some reason, there are bad players at every level of the game. Copper to Champion, there are bad players in the game, and Blitz will work on some people at every level. He's a good way to mix things up if you're really trying to, if nothing else is really working and you really got to try something else, maybe Blitz is fine. Maybe. Bravo, I'm going to put in A tier. I like Bravo a lot more than a lot of other people do. I think especially just getting the default cameras on certain maps like Villa or Chalet, even Border to an extent, if you can keep them up, is truly amazing. If they have a Valkyrie, I mean, it's perfect. Brava is a great operator, great intel denial, and intel gatherer for yourself. I really like Brava. I think she's almost slept on almost. I mean, she's not like people play her and they know that she's good, but I just feel like she's just not played as much as I think she should be. Buck, I'm going to put in the top of B tier. Buck, I've been saying this for years, Buck's just never been the same since he lost his grenades. He just doesn't have that versatility that he used to have. Yes, his gun is good. Yes, his gadget is good for vertical play, especially if you're going below. He's really the best operator if you're trying to take below and destroy stuff from below, like on Outback. Is a great site to do that on. Border is, again, a great site for that. Chalet, to some extent. But, he's just not that good anymore. Sledge, you pretty much want to be bringing Sledge 99 no, not 99%. But Buck, he's had a fall from grace. Well, we'll put it lightly. Capital, I'm going to put in B tier. Definitely a mid operator, but not bad at all, but not amazing anymore. I like Capital. I think he's better than a lot of people say he is, and in fact, I think he's better than Buck and Ash, honestly. So, but I like Capital a lot. Great operator, great gadget, great guns. I know the para is not as good as it used to be with the extended barrel. They nerfed it, I think, exactly right when it came out. But you pop the extended barrel on that and you start letting it rip. There you go. Although I do like to run the LMG on Capital. I do think that it fits his playstyle a little bit more, so you can shoot through the smoke, shoot people trying to run through the fire, risking it. He's got great area denial, great line of sight denial. Mix him up with a Glaz, or great for the post plant. And you really got a great operator to make plays and to win off the execution. Castle is sort of in the same vein. I am a major Castle fan, but I've been saying it for years. Castle is the one operator in the game I wish you had to have like a level to unlock, and even then, you should have like a test to play Castle, because my God, people are just horrendous with him. A good Castle can win you a round, but a bad Castle can lose you the round. He's probably got the lowest floor, or probably the highest, the lowest floor, but one of the highest ceilings, because people just are terrible with him when they're starting out. They don't know what they're doing. It's really, people just barricade off stuff that they don't know what the point of it is, kind of mindlessly, and it's terrible. But a good Castle, if you create the right lines of sight, cut off the correct points of entry for the attackers, you can really do something special with your roam, your extended hold of sight, things of that nature. Cav, I'm going to put in D tier. Not a terrible operator. If you are considering Blackbeard the worst operator in the game, Cav's definitely better than that. Only reason I'm putting her in D tier is, again, at every level, Cav can work. She's sneaky. If you want to, again, she's sort of like Blitz, where if you really want to switch things up, you can throw her in there and see how she can be used. If you get an interrogation, you pretty much win the round, but that's only going to work against terrible players. So if you're playing against bad people and you want to really end the game quickly, Cav's not bad to take. Clash, I think, is underrated, only because if you know how to play Clash, she's great. And I love Clash. I'm a great Clash player, in my opinion. She's easy to... She's easy. People overcomplicate Clash, but people also complicate how to beat Clash as well. You know, she's super easy to play as and to play against. People just don't know how to do it. So I like taking advantage of that. You know, it's super simple. You just stand in front of people and zap them. If they come for you, come towards you, you just back away. You play off of a teammate. You make sure that you have a teammate with you at all times to act off of your zaps and off of your intel. And that's really it. I mean, Clash is super simple. There's not really much room for error with Clash. But people love to do it. People love to throw. They love to switch to their secondary for no reason and try and frag out, even though I love her secondary, love her gun, but people just don't know how to play her. Similarly, people don't know how to play against her. She's super easy to counter. You just drone out the person she's playing with, bring some grenades, bring a buddy, have somebody fight that guy or grenade that guy or get that guy out of the picture somehow. Just run up to Clash, punch her, and shoot her. I mean, it's super simple. You just run up to her. She's going to zap you, but that's just how you have to beat her. You're not going to be able to flank around her and kill her from behind in 99.9% of all circumstances. So I really don't get why people are so bad with Clash, but that's neither here nor there. I think Doc is the best he's ever been right now in the game. This is like one of the only times where I would say Doc's better than Rook currently. His gun is still good. I like it with the extended barrel. He's got those rotate creation abilities with the bailiff. And his gadget is a lot better than it used to be. Full heals from those stims. That's perfect. That's a great buff for Doc. Doc's definitely a mid spot right now, but I think that's where he needs to be. Again, I like to see a bell curve here. I like to see as many operators in the middle as possible. We'll see where that stands today. Dokkaebi, I think, is an A tier. Really good operator. She can definitely win you rounds with those calls, knowing where enemies are, hacking cameras, using the enemy's cameras against them. Sort of like Brava, but in a lesser way, where Brava, her job is to get defender utility, hopefully cameras. I like to get cameras the most with Brava. Dokkaebi can do that a little bit, but you have to kill somebody first, hack their phone. But Dokkaebi, of course, her main draw is with her ability of her logic bomb, making the enemies make noise and hunting them down that way. Echo, go put Echo in B tier. Again, these aren't really ordered; they're just in the tier. I usually like to order them, but I'm just gonna keep them in a tier, not really in order within it. But Echo, I'm gonna put in B tier. No, maybe C. Go put Echo in C tier. Top of C tier, I would say, because he's just not that good anymore. He's fallen off as well, similarly to Buck. His gadget's nowhere near as good as it used to be. It's not invisible anymore. It hasn't been for quite some time, really. His gun can't have the extended barrel, so it's an absolute pea shooter at range. I think I have a clip. I don't know if I've uploaded or streamed it or anything, but I had a clip where I was peeking somebody on Villa from the master bedroom window, peeking onto the study window balcony, and I think I shot this person more than 12, maybe 13 times. They were just standing still. I was just shooting them over and over and over again, and they were not going down. They were not going down. I don't know if there were a 3 armor, or if there was some hit red going on, but really just not a good gun at range. Doesn't do the trick anymore. Gadget, it leaves room to be desired, and it's just not where it used to be. Ella, I'm gonna put in D tier. Ella's just useless. I mean, why are you bringing Ella? What's the point of Ella bringing Ella? What are you bringing to the table that an operator can't bring otherwise if you don't bring Ella? She's not good. She's not, again, F tier, I wouldn't say. She can be used here and there. She has a shield, that's good. And her ability sort of can work sometimes. But not really. So definitely putting her in D tier. I don't really have much to say about Ella. She's just kind of bad. I think I'm going to put in C tier again, another major fall from grace. LMGs kind of suck now. Her ability, wow, still decent. And she lost her nades. Her ability, while still decent, not enough to keep her super relevant, super worth playing. I definitely wouldn't recommend playing her. There's definitely better operators. I might even move her to D tier. No, I'll leave her in C. She could still be used here and there if you know what you're doing, but definitely an operator I would leave for a more experienced player with a certain strategy that requires a Finka boost, such as, flashing into a room or yinging into a room, running in, getting a Finka boost to remove your flash stuff, or If they keep bringing Ella and your or Echo, you're having a bad time. Using her ability to get rid of those effects, give yourself some health, whilst also providing some light gadget destruction with the Gaunt 6. You can still bring her here and there. Flores, I like Flores a lot. I'm going to put him in maybe A tier, I think. Bottom of A tier, I think, is good. Gadget, still great. Great at destroying utility. People don't, it's not, shield destroying meta anymore. We're not in the shield simulator like we used to be, but Flores still good at getting rid of stuff. Getting rid of barbed wire, Meister cameras, bulletproof cameras, frost mats if they're in a precarious spot. Things like that. He's still great at doing all that. Good gun. He's got flashes. Get entry with him a little bit. Like Flores a lot. Frost, I'm going to put in A tier. Great operator right now. A perfect solo queue operator. You got rotate ability with the shotgun. A good gun with no recoil and a 1.5. And a gadget that you can use to really switch things up and get people off guard. Putting them in spots where they either have to pick to shoot at you or to shoot at the mat, and you take advantage of either or. And she also has a shield, so Frost is great. Fuse, I think, is the most underrated operator in the game. Usually I'd put him around D tier, but I'm going to put him in C tier. Fuse can be used correctly. If you're playing above and you want to, for vertical play, 99% of the time, I wouldn't play Fuse any other way other than vertically to destroy utility on site if you know there's going to be a lot of utility on the site, or you want to get people out of sight for your attackers who are pushing more horizontally to take advantage of that. Fuse is a great option for that. Yinging the floor above you and also fusing it is a great little meme strat that I love doing as well. Fuse definitely has a place in the meta. It's very site specific, but a lot of the operators in this area usually are. Glaz, I think, is cheeks. Got to put him in D tier. Gun is bad. He's got nades, but why would you use nades when he has smokes? Glad he has the bearing 9, but it's not enough to save him. Goyo, I'm going to put in B tier, top of B tier. I like the TCSG on him. Like making those rotates. Like bringing the prox alarms to shoot your Goyos off the intel, off the sound. Putting them in areas to deny area is great. Putting them in spots where you can use them and the attackers can't, preferably, is what you're supposed to do. I like Goyo. Gridlock I'm going to put in C tier, I think. She's just sort of like Echo, leaves room to be desired. She's not great. She's really only beneficial if you're for making noise to plant, throwing smokes. She's good for the execute and the post plant, but we're not really in that meta right now, so she's not really worth bringing. Grim is no longer the worst operator in the game. I'm going to put him in B tier. He can, or maybe C, B or C. I'm going to put him in B tier. I've seen some people rate him a little higher, but he's not that good. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, he got the 2.0, and yeah, his gadget is a lot better now, but going from the worst operator in the game to pretty decent is still a fantastic buff. He's not overpowered at all. One of the best buffs they've ever given an operator. This is the reason why you'd rather have an operator release underwhelmingly and buff them than it is to release them overpowered and then nerf them. Because it's easier to buff than it is to nerf, in my opinion. But that also changes depending on the operator, of course. And Grim's just a perfect example of that. So, if you watch my video on how they could fix Grim, they pretty much did everything that I said they should do in that video, and they made him good again. Maybe they saw that video and decided to work that out. Habana, I'm going to put in A tier, top of A tier. You really only want to bring Habana when you're getting hatches, or if you're getting Miras off from a long distance and they're being dumb and not shooting them off or impact tricking you. That's really the only time you want to be bringing Habana. Yeah, she has stuns. Yeah, she has a good bearing 9, but Ace and Thermite just do it better. Yana's going to be S tier, maybe the best attacker in the game still. Great gun with the extended barrel, no recoil at all. Great secondary gadget in the grenades. Great, and by great I mean amazing ability with her clone. Infinite drones, potentially. Great to drone something in, have somebody act off of that intel. Good for droning yourself in as well. Great solo queue operator. Yana's truly amazing right now. Good put IQ in D tier. Early on, want to bring her if you're struggling to hit Valkyrie cameras, or if you, for some reason, want to go below and try and get stuff off walls or shoot ADSs and stuff if the floor is bangable, but not a great operator. Jackal I'm going to put in B tier. I think he's very overrated. He's banned way too much still, although his ban rate has been coming down a little bit at some ranks, but still he's not, his gadget reworks definitely a nerf. His gun got nerfed a million times. Yeah, keep nerfing this guy, but I think he's in a balanced spot right now. I think he needs to not be banned as much. Yeah, he's annoying to play against, but like he's not terrible at the same time. If you know what you're doing, you just got to roam a little bit better. Jaeger I'm going to put in A tier. Again, not in a major denial meta right now. People aren't shooting nades and gone sixes and Ash and Zo's charges in every round like they used to be. But Jaeger still has his place in the meta. Great gun still. I still like his gun. Gadget's still worth it. Still worth bringing if you can help it. He still brings all of that stuff that you like to see on a good defending team. Great piece to end your rotation with. I think he's great still. Cade, going to be an S tier. Best breach denial in the game. Can throw things below, can throw them on sneaky spots that can be indestructible from Callie's and even Thatcher's sometimes. EMP gadgets, definitely. So unless they bring Thatcher, Cade is really the best breach denial operator in the game 100% of the time. Callie is going to get an F. I like Callie's secondary gadget, but other than that, she really brings nothing. Cade's, if placed correctly, are impossible to get with her thing. Mutes can already be countered without Callie on hard walls, and Bandit can just pick his stuff up and then Bandit trick a lot easier because you can't place down your thermites or your Habanas or anything on the wall if it's being Callied. So, completely useless operator, thinks she sucks. And the EMP gadget, too. Makes her bad. Capcan I'm going to put in B tier. Loss is 1.5. Not nearly as good as a fragger as he used to be, but his win rate is still decent. His win rate's still great. He still has a good gun, especially with the extended barrel. Got a C4. Good roamer still. I think he's a solid B tier operator. Legion I'm going to put in C tier. Legion has lost his way also quite a bit. He's definitely a mid operator. He's one of those ops where you can always bring somebody better, so the times you're going to be seeing him are few and far between. There are operators that does what he does better. I like his gun a lot. He's got rotates, but again, he just doesn't bring enough to be warranted anymore. Lion I'm going to put in B tier. I think Lion's good. Good ability. Decent gun. Got the gun 6. Got stuns. I think he's got the EMPs, I think, as well. So I think Lion's in a good spot right now. He's definitely balanced. His ability can be used off of executes, off of proper droning and roam clearing and execution as well. I think Lion's a good operator to really end your 5 with if you've got no one else to use or if you're struggling to execute properly, if you're getting swung a lot and you're lacking that intel. I think Lion's a great operator to pick up. Maestro I'm going to put in C tier. Maybe D. I would put him in the bottom of D or C if these were ordered. He's not good anymore. Not good anymore. Especially with Brava, hacking cameras has never been easier. Getting rid of Maestro's one sole ability has never been easier as it is now. People, again, aren't droning or planting or throwing in utility that can be shot with Maestro cameras as much. You can still zap people with them, but that's always been a waste, in my opinion. Gun is still good, and I like the silencer on it, and he's got Bailiff. And whatever his secondaries still are, barbed wire, maybe the drone observation blocker. I don't remember if he was given that or not, but just a mid operator, not great right now. Same with Maverick. Maverick's going to go in C tier, maybe even, I'm going to put Maverick in C tier. He's just nowhere near as good as he used to be without his frag grenades. He can't even get the wall open himself anymore. People with the EMP gadget as well. He's just not useful. He's not needed. I might even bump him down to D tier. I mean, he's just bad right now. Maverick has never been worse than he is now. Do not play Maverick. Do not buy Maverick. He's not worth Maverick tricking. Just go above, use grenades, use the EMP gadget, learn how to play Thatcher, learn how to use this stuff, learn how to nade from below. It'll save you so much time, so much utility. And I say utility because you're going to be using stuff to destroy the wall once Maverick's it open, and then you've wasted all that time. You're going to be just throwing your stuff in there. It's just not worth it. Maverick is not good. Melusi is still very good. We're going to put Melusi in A tier. Still a great gun. Still a great gadget. I don't care that she's a 3 armor. Doesn't matter at all. Armor and speed are not nerfs nor buffs. They're just what they are. I love her impacts. I think she's great at what she does on site, and even as a short roamer, she can do it all really. A great solo queue operator again. If you're looking for somebody to solo queue with, Melusi is a great pick. Mira, still going to be an S tier. I think Mira can be great on every single site. She's got a good gun, C4, shotgun. Great way to create lines of sight for the attackers, remodel the site, or for defenders rather. Remodel the site to fit what you need to do with it. I think Mira's definitely in a... She's not really been nerfed too much. Sure, you can punch her thing still, but that works both ways. So, Montaigne sucks. Gonna put him in D tier. Shield operators just aren't very good in this game, as you could tell. Montaigne really not... I'm struggling to think of... He's a big drone. You know, he's a big drone. People who are good, know how to play against him, are not gonna fall for the, you know, ooh, big, scary, big guy who I can't kill is coming towards me. What am I going to do? No, people are not going to fall for that at higher levels. He's not hard to counter at all. He's good to solo clear or drone stuff with yourself as a distraction for another person to use, sort of like Yana, but in a different way. That's really the only way I like to use Montaigne. Perfect example being if you're walking into rafters on Clubhouse. That's a great example of how you can use Montaigne to get area. I mean, he's got smokes too, and that's fine too, but other than that, not really much there. Mozzie, I'm going to put an S tier. What drones are being used? People have learned how to put Mozzies in good spots. The 1.5 with him is perfect. You know, he can frag out. Mozzie's excellent right now. A great operator. He can hack back the Bravo drones. He can get back a lot of intel if you're lacking intel on certain sites. Villa's a great map for Mozzie where you can put stuff in put pests in good areas. He's got a C4. You can set up a drone on site, set up a drone somewhere. The attackers will not see it coming. Throw a C4 below. Free kill every time. Deny plant. He's great. S tier operator, again, going to be Mute. Mute's been one of the best, if not the best, operator in the game for quite some time now. Shotgun, drone, and gadget denial. SMG-12, or SMG-11, and C4. What else needs to be said? Knock, I'm going to put an A tier. Grenades are still great. Gun is still great. She's a great way to sort of get in there, you know, sneaky little knock rush, rank star heavy playstyle, just getting in there, fragging people out, nading from below, then going off that intel and going up staircases, getting past those beepers, getting past those Melusis, those thorns. I think Nock's in a great place. Similarly to that, Nomad. I still think Nomad's A tier. Some people put her a little bit lower, some people put her a little bit higher. I think she's perfectly fine in A. She does her job, she does it well. She's great for flank denial, great for plant or post-plant diffuser denial. She's got the stuns. You can frag out with her. Again, a great solo queue operator. I think she still has breach charges, so she's got a little bit of vertical play as well. Hold your flank on a mid floor or top floor. Execute to go bottom top or bottom down. Sorry, top down. My lord, can't speak today. So great operator to push with. Play entry with her. Learn how to play support and entry with her at the same time. She's good still. Orcs, I'm still gonna put. I don't know, actually. I'm going to put Orcs in C tier. Not as good as he used to be with the 1.5. You can't really run around and just pop heads like you used to be able to. Still good operator, still good gun. I'd say he's just mid, though. He's just not as good as he used to be. He's got the beeper still, got the bailiff. So, you know, you're not bringing nothing with him. He's still fast. You can still roam with him effectively, but you just can't take those long-range engagements anymore, which really made him stand out from the rest of the roamers in the game. Osa, I'm going to put in A tier. She's in a good spot right now. I love the PDW with the extended barrel. No recoil, high rate of fire. Good weapon. Her gadget can be used effectively if you know what you're doing with it. You can put it on doorways, put it on windows, instantly break them, push in, set those things up in a post plant, set them up in a regular plant. Just got to be really careful about C4s, impacts, smokes, things of that nature is really where OSA fails. So if you're playing against a stack with a heavy emphasis on those pieces of utility, or those operators that would have them, then OSA may not be the best play. Pulse, I'm going to put in C tier. Mid operator, not bad at all, but not great either. You can deny one plant. Yeah, he can shoot people through the floor, use the shotgun if you want. That's what I would probably use, honestly, shotgun people through the floor. I do like that he has the 1.5 though, like Castle does, but he just leaves to be desired. Similarly to Echo, he's kind of quick. Fenrir, I think, is S tier. Fenrir, I think, is one of the best defenders in the game, a top 5, one at that. He can do a lot. He's got 5 little things that you can put up that sort of work like Malusi gadgets, but they blind you. He can activate them at any time he wants, but once he dies, the ones that he's activated are the ones that will be active for the remainder of the round, and you can only have 3 active at a time, so he's got a high ceiling of an operator to really adapt to pushes with those gadgets and knowing where people are going to be pushing from, where attackers are switching up their push after they decide to go one way if they're going another, using that gadget to catch the defender or the attackers off guard when they're changing up their strategy mid-game. It really makes it hard to adapt to a defense as an attacker with a Grim or with a Fenrir on the board, able to adapt to you so much easier. Great operator to use if you're really struggling to rank up, or if you're really struggling to hold down site in general, or hold down areas, extended holds. Fenrir is your guy. Rook, I'm going to put in D tier. Rook's not good right now. He's got the 2.0, sure. Got impacts. Armor's good, but still bad. Sens, I'm going to put in D tier still. Still bad. Still, we probably took... Yeah, he's not as good as Grim is now. Sens, if you want to see what's bad with Sens, watch the video I made about why Sens and Grim are still terrible. Sledge, I'm going to put in A tier. Grenades, soft destruction, reliable weapon. Yeah, what else do you need from that? Great operator to play vertical with, great operator to throw grenades with. Sledge has still got a great kit, even though they took away the SMG-11 from him, which honestly is probably a good nerf. Sledge is in a great spot. Smoke, I'm going to put an A. I would usually put Smoke in S, but he lost his shield, and I know people say that's not as big of a nerf as it should be, but I think it is. I think that's a major nerf to Smoke. I loved playing Smoke with the shield, playing off the shield, throwing your smokes in places. I like that little hunker down play style. I'm one of the few people who like the utility dump meta. I mean, I like this meta now, too. I think this is a much more balanced meta than it's ever been, really. The last 2 or 3 seasons, this one included, has really been probably the best time for the game to be active in terms of meta being balanced and meta being fun. But still, Smoke losing his shield is big for me. Solus, I'm still going to put an S tier. Great for shooting drones, great for plant denial, great for helping bandit trick, great for helping Cade trick, helping other operators, giving intel at all times. You can see the jackals, you can see the lions, the finkas, the blitzes, if they're bringing a blitz for some reason, the Brava utility, the Brava drones, the Twitch drones, the Flores drones, getting ready for, she helps you prepare a little bit better. She helps you execute a little bit better as well as a defender, brings the impacts. Love the P90. I've been saying it for years. P90 is a great operator, or a great gun. Definitely belongs in S tier. Tachanka sucks. I'll put him in F tier. Like, he's just not good still. He's still terrible. They keep trying to buff him, but they keep failing. I'm not even going to really go into it. Actually, okay, I will go into it a little bit. I like his gun. I'm one of the few people who like it. I like that you can set up sight with it and also use it somewhat as a weapon, although not as good as the Bearing 9 that he has. But it's really his gadget that sucks. The fire, they've tried to buff it a little bit. They changed it, but the damage is just not enough. You could just run right through the fire. It makes it completely useless. It's not as good. It does less damage for some reason, or at least it feels like it does, than the Capitao and Goyos. So, I'd take a sip of water right there. So, F tier. Sucks. Moving on. Worst defender in the game. Thatcher, I'm going to put in S tier still. No, A. No, flip it. I'm going to still put Thatcher in S tier. You can still bring Thatcher pretty much on every site, on every map when you're attacking. I mean, there's no reason not to. more than half the abilities on the defending side are electronic gadgets. So I mean, even if you're not using him to strictly get walls open, he's still great to disable gadgets and then run into sight and or run into the area you're trying to use. Take those gunfights after droning it out. You know, he's great at stripping down the defense, opening things up, opening up opportunities for you to take advantage of. That's what Thatcher's all about. Thermite I'm going to put in the top of A tier. Not as good as Ace. Probably better than Hibana though. Not as bad as Maverick in any way. He's great. He's the best person at getting open walls, exterior walls, normal walls. That's what you want Thermite to do. He can dodge most impact tricks if you put them low enough. Still get, if you crouch and put them down and look downward, you can dodge most impact tricks if you do it correctly and if they kind of mess it up a little bit. So, Thermite, still great. Thorn, I'm going to put in B tier. She's definitely gotten a lot better. Now I'm going to put in C tier. With the 1.5, she's gotten a lot better. She's kind of taking over that Oryx playstyle a little bit with that weapon. With the 1.5. Gadget is just a better Ella, but it still sucks. People die to it all the time because people cannot shoot them. I don't know why people don't just shoot the thorns as they're going off. I feel like me and my stack are the only people who fucking do that. It makes no sense. I cannot stand it. I don't understand why people don't just shoot the thorns when they're going off. I don't get it. Shoot the thorns when they're going off. You're going to get yourself or another teammate killed. I have a clip of me yesterday. Somebody rappelling into Villa study balcony. They rappel in. A thorn starts going off, and I started rappelling in too. And teammate just ran away from it. And I, of course, was stuck in the rappelling animation, so I rappelled in and died because they didn't shoot it. And the door wasn't open. There was nobody pushing us. The thorn was just in the middle of the fucking floor, too. They could have just, or not even on the floor. I think it was on the balcony. All they had to do was turn around and shoot it. It wasn't near me. It was where they jumped in from. So, bad stuff. Just shoot the thorns. Makes it a lot easier. Thunderbird, I'm going to put in C tier. She's just not as used as she used to be. She's still good, though, but she's sort of in the Legion category of they're better operators to pick. And when they're better operators to pick, you obviously don't see them enough. It's not that she's bad, it's just that you would much rather bring somebody else in almost all circumstances. Twitch, I think, is an A tier. Her gun, yeah, the recoil is still not great, but it's manageable if you know how to control recoil, which you should know how to do if you watch some of my videos about aim training. I'm going to make a video about controlling recoil and how to use the shooting range soon, but that's the gist of it. With Twitch, she's nice and simple, sweet and simple. You know, high ceiling, not the highest floor, although, you know, you kind of have to know what you're doing, but she's a simple operator. She does her job. Oops. Hopefully that saved all my stuff. Hope it did. So she's still great. Valkyrie, I'm going to put in S tier still. Still an amazing operator. That intel that she provides with the C4 is just unbeatable. Can't get better than that. Valkyrie is still amazing. Still in the top 5 of the defenders. Vigil, I'm going to put in top of B tier if these were in order. His gadget is a little bit better now. He's not visible when he's shooting or when he's reinforcing stuff anymore using his utility as far as I know. So he's just the same he's always been. You know, still great at extending your roam. If you're getting droned out a lot, if you're having trouble with droning or drone denial rather, with that intel denial, he's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine operator. He's good, not great, not amazing, but you can bring him. He's got impacts. He's not completely selfish. Wamai, I'm going to put in A tier. I'm going to put him. I think Wamai and Jaeger are pretty interchangeable. They do really the same thing at the end of the day. Although Wamai has a 1.5 in impacts, so you know I might even put Wamai over Jaeger. I play Wamai more than Jaeger these days, just for the 1.5. Honestly, I'm thinking about putting Wamai in S tier. I love the 1.5 on the MK or on the MP5. I'm a big fan of Wamai. Warden, I'm going to put in B tier. He's a lot better than he used to be. He's got the 1.5 on the MPX. I think the SMG-12 is a good gun, although a lot of people don't know how to use it. He's got the shotgun. He's got a shield. He's got C4. You know, he's really got a lot going for him. We're just not really in the big flashy flash meta, although we kind of are though, because people are kind of just running in and fragging out, which means that they're going to be using more utility. Ying has been being played a lot more. Speaking of Ying, I'm going to put Ying in A tier. But, you know, Warden's good. Warden's fine. Fine operator. Warden's fine. Ying is a great solo queue operator again. She's got the hard breach tool. She's got smokes. A great gun with a large magazine. If you drone things properly and throw anything, get people off guard, start attacking, start just letting that thing rip, you're going to be getting a lot more kills. You're going to be taking sight. Great operator to get aggressive with. Probably the best operator to play aggressively with. If you're an aggressive player, kind of player, and you want to frag out a little bit more, smart, in a smart way, Ying's the operator you want to be picking. Zero, I think, is still very underrated. I like his gun. Gadget is good. Good at intel gathering. Good at shooting stuff. If you put it in the correct spots to where the defenders can't shoot it easily. I like that it no longer immediately goes through a wall, a soft wall or hard wall when you shoot it. I think Zero's in a decent place right now. I think he's balanced, but people don't play him enough. He's almost in that category of Legion and Thunderbird where you could most likely bring other people. But with the hard breach gadget and with the Gaunt 6, I think he really is in a good spot right now to end your rotation of an operator or an operator selection. What am I saying? An operator lineup. Sophia, I'm gonna put in B tier. Sophia kind of sucks right now compared to what she used to be. She's better than Ash, but her guns are just terrible right now. The LMG unusable. Her AK also borderline unusable. She's not in a good spot. Her utility is the only thing keeping her together. But still, again, you can use operators like Sledge, like Yana with grenades to destroy stuff that way. That's a lot easier. Buck, even if you're going to be doing stuff from below. Hell, even IQ. Just now. All right, let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. So this is the operator tier list. I think this is up to date. I think this is pretty good. Let me make sure there's nothing crazy in here. Again, we're kind of balanced, but again, we're kind of seeing more operators are great than bad, and honestly, that's good. You don't want to see operators in F tier or D tier. You want to see operators in B, A, and S, preferably, but of course, there are going to be some C tier operators. I think all these operators are in major need of a buff still to this day. How they're going to do it, I don't know. Maybe I'll go through some of these operators and see how I can, buff them in my own way, but regardless. So, yeah, that seems to be the tier list. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. If you want to if you would put things in different areas, please let me know. I love seeing in the comments. You guys seem to like these tier list videos, so I'm going to keep doing them. I love seeing what people have to say, what other people think about the state of the game, about the state of how operators are being balanced, the philosophies that Ubisoft are balancing the operators with. I love hearing other people's thoughts on them. So please comment. I love engaging with people in the comments. I love it. So let me know if you agree or disagree, and thanks for watching.